go boom right there. And then if he turned, there it is, and we're at the plane, and there we are. Hands stay below, club gets above. Hands stay below, club gets above.
Can we get going though with one of the best topics in golf and one of the most important pieces of the golf swing, the takeaway. The takeaway, right? So many people we see, right? They're working hard to get that club up in front of their hands because they know they don't want to see this club low and behind their hands, but they just can't do it. What's going on there?
We recently started talking about this a lot more this past year.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing more uncomfortable, considering most people are in here and already over the top, than for the person who's doing that to then feel like they have to put the club out here.
Yep.
First off, let's talk about this. When a player tries to get the club more out, the most common thing we see is that they jack up their hand path.
Yep.
Their hands, if we're on this line right here, the hands, guys, just a pocket high are supposed to go right down the line of the feet. They try to push their hands out there, and the person who's already living out here on the downswing thinks, how am I ever, I gotta feel this looping motion. No, you don't. Let's at least clarify. The hands are always connected to the body's turn. To me, after a good setup, the hand path is the most important part of the golf swing. The direction the hands travel relative to the body's turn. I'm gonna have you hold this for me. I've been over this many times, you've followed the channel, but we're gonna be really clear today on this perfect hand path and then the hinge and why people take it inside and how it can maybe defeat some misconceptions of what you may have thought you needed to do and what you actually need to do to fix this once and for all. Right, here we go. Hands follow the direction of the body's turn. If I'm setting up and that's the line of my feet, my hands will go to pocket high right down the line of my feet. And then my shoulders are going to continue turning them right up the plane. My lead arm is going to match my shoulder plane, which is just proof that my hands have followed the direction of my body's turn. So just know, the hands are always here. Always here. That's not changing.
Nope.
Now here's the big thing. When I don't get the club off the ground and hinge it at all, I can take this as straight back as I want. But if that club is underneath my hands at the point at where it's down the line of my feet, guess what it's going to do? It's going to swing inside and behind, and the butt of the club's going to be pointed well above the golf ball.
We're in trouble then.
Exactly. So what I want all of our viewers doing, if you suffer with an inside takeaway, go back to the point at where the golf club is actually down the line of your feet right here and pause the camera. Pause it. If you see the club head 6-7 inches below your hands, just know that's not because you necessarily took it inside. It's because you didn't get the club up enough.
Yep.
Okay? So check this out. Just by getting the player to hinge the club a little bit more, keeping the hands what? Low, and getting the club up. Mike, I want you to hold this right here, just below the set position here.
Yep.
Todd used to do this to me all the time. You put this here, you go, hey, hands stay below, club gets above. Hands stay below, club gets above. Why hands low? Here's why the hands low. The reason we do the hands low is because that's the hands connected to the body's turn. That's the pushing the beach ball below the level of the water. That's me making sure my shoulders moving my hands back there and not me using my arms and hands independently of my body's turn. We say hinge, and then what do people do, Mike?
Just pick it up.
They start picking it up and they disconnect themselves. No. What's creating that hinge is the lead shoulder pushing the lead hand back and away, and I already have a leverage between the lead arm and the club with that good grip, and I push away on that heel pad, and there's the hinge. So there's a little bit of downward pressure with the lead hand, and that trigger finger is definitely helping get that golf club up on the trail hand. But right here, guys, the answer to your question may not be trying to force the golf club outside. It's not correct. A lot of times it disconnects the swing even more. What it really is understanding that the golf club simply needs to get off the ground and you need to hinge it, and that will get that club going up right in front of your hands and up that forearm. Now, Mike, if we're being very specific, show everybody the direction of the proper hinge. If we were just hinging and not turning at all, where's that going?
It's going right here.
It's going right here, guys.
45-degree angle, guys.
From heel to toe, my coach would always plug this in like this. So Kev right there. So Mike set up again. Guys, watch this. He's just going to go boom right there. And then if he turned, there it is, and they're at the plane, and there we are. Because Mike, what's the one thing at the set position? Where does the butt of the club never want to point?
Never want it, guys, pointing over the golf ball. Number one thing we
Absolutely.
don't want to see. Okay, we always want to see it pointing at the golf ball or 6 inch inside of it. And to be honest, for you guys who are really getting it pointed over the golf ball, struggling with your takeaway, it'll probably feel like you're pointing it closer to your feet than the golf ball.
No doubt about it.
Okay, visually, what will happen is it'll really be right on the right forearm, butt of the club. If we extended it right down to the golf ball, boom.
So, Mike,
right
if this is the
inside of
ball line right here, give people what's the love zone as far as where we like the club being set?
So we like to be at right about in between here and here, about 6 inches inside the golf ball. So if we can go right here on the ball and we get this club set and we were to extend it down, it could be at the ball exactly or about 6 inches inside. That's going to allow us to turn our body, move our arms and the club up the right plane, and then work down on the inside of that.
Beautifully illustrated there.
Okay.
Yeah, beautiful. I think it's just so important for people, and we can't emphasize this enough. When hinging, it's your turn that's creating this hinge.
Absolutely.
It's not an independent motion right here. It's this shoulder pushing the hands away to create that. And one thing that Cameron Sisk always says, which I love, he always says this, I love this. He goes, Adam, we got to be careful when we tell people to push down and away, because what do they typically do? They lose their height with their body. And then you're losing that connection, losing the width. You're keeping your chin on a glass tabletop as you create that motion, and that gets you cleanly turning around your spine as well. But this is very important to understand, guys. If we're not seeing the club ever get in front of our hands, it's a lack of hinge and not necessarily
trying to get the club out.
I had a lesson with a gentleman the other day via FaceTime, and he goes, I just for the life of me cannot get this club outside. And before the lesson even started, I go, hey, bud, I just want to let you know we're going to fix this in 2 seconds, and you're going to hit it great. He just was beside himself how quickly he saw that club get up in front of his forearms. Good player, hadn't broken par yet this year, goes out and shoots 68 the same day.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. So,
take me through what you told him to do.
and here's the way you can check this, guys. You know, here's the thing. The set position. We talk about how the body has to turn the arms and hands back there. And the hinging is not just happening isolated of the body. It's happening with the body's turn. Well, guess what? If you get back there and do this, you should be able to rotate right back through and hit a little easy straight shot just like that. See, I was able to put something on that right there from a position right here. Now think about it. If I just turned and didn't hinge, I'd have nothing. If I just hinged and didn't turn, I'd have nothing. But when you turn, you have the ability to do what? Rotate. When you hinge, you have the ability to do what? Naturally release. And when you can rotate and release through impact and it's right on plane, effortless power, right, Pitty?
Absolutely, you got it, guys. So get out there. Remember, it's not always you're trying an effort to get that club out in front of your hands. Let's make sure we hinge it correctly.
And you know, you guys are all family, by the way. You probably just heard me call him Pitty. It's Mike Pitt. That is his nickname, okay? So just refer to Mike Pitt as Pitty from now on. You ever see this guy around, yell Pitty, he will look, I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for years.
More so than Mike.
At Forzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.